And we've still got some pop-up storm chances heading through the afternoon and more rain heading into the weekend. The latest coming up.
Plus, after tragic flooding in Texas, are Missouri's campgrounds prepared? We take you to a state park to check in on weather preparedness.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. An early morning crash in Jasper County takes the life of a Carthage teen. Authorities responded to the crash at about 5 in the morning at Prigmore and Cedar near Dunaweg. Troopers say the crash happened after a pickup failed to stop at a stop sign and traveled off the right side of the road. The driver then overcorrected, traveled off the left side of the road where the pickup overturned and struck a tree. The driver, 18-year-old Aiden Lambeth, died at the scene. Now, in response to the crash, Carthage schools have activated their crisis response plans to offer support. Now, on Thursday from noon until 2, crisis team support will be available in the Carthage High School Media Center. They say counselors will be available in the days ahead for anyone who may need someone to talk to. And Pittsburgh City Commissioners approve a lease agreement with a Joplin-based company that specializes in making batteries for defense and aerospace systems. Eagle Pitcher plans to build a manufacturing facility near the Pitt State campus. It's the first of 3 projects planned off South Rouse Avenue near the Tyler Research Center. The Eagle Pitcher facility is expected to create 40 to 50 jobs. Company officials say other national defense projects pushed back their initial lease start date. Groundbreaking for the new facility is now planned for July 24th. And Pittsburgh commissioners also voted in favor of a resolution that could lead to changes to an ongoing housing development project. The project in question, Silverback Landing, located directly east of the new PSU development that includes Eagle Pitcher. The Silverback Landing development started in 2018, creating middle to higher income housing in Pittsburgh. It's a reinvestment housing incentive district, a state program which helps developers build infrastructure by reimbursing costs through property taxes. Now, according to the city, progress on the project was impacted by the pandemic and supply chain issues. Currently, only 22 out of the 60 planned homes for the development have been built. This resolution would allow the city to hold a public hearing to consider changes to the Silverback Landing project, including an extension of the timeline. Let's head over now to Chris Warner for first weather.
Yeah, we've got those pop-up storm chances across the area from about now until 5 this evening. Earlier look downtown Pittsburgh looking pretty good. Same from the MoDOT camera. 20th and Rangeline this morning as folks getting their day underway. Yesterday started at 68, a degree below normal, and look at our high. 87, 3 degrees below normal. So that's what I'm saying. We've been down this road before where we've been into the upper 90s, lower 100s in July. But we've been below average, which is not a bad way to start this month. Our temperature trend, though, it's going to start to increase with that average high of 90. Over the next few days, we start to see things creep up, but then they'll start to creep right on back down as we head into the upcoming weekend. Pop-up storms, again, should be done by about 5. And again, a couple of those could be strong, low-grade severe. Then we'll have clear skies after that. Upper 80s by 7, still near the 80s by 9 and 10, mid-70s by 11. Overnight lows tonight back into the low 70s. As I mentioned, we have more rain chances on the way. We're going to break down those details for you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, in one of the largest search operations in Texas history, rescuers continue to look for more than 160 people believed to be missing 6 days after catastrophic flooding. Now, at least 119 people are confirmed dead, including 27 campers and counselors at the Camp Mystic Girls Summer Camp. CBS's Nydia Cavosos reports from Kerrville, Texas, where flood warnings and evacuations are under scrutiny.
Newly released records reportedly show Texas inspectors approved Camp Mystic's emergency planning only 2 days before catastrophic floodwaters devastated the girls' summer camp. Camp Mystic did not evacuate when the river rose to flood levels in the early morning hours on Friday.
First responders from emergency services throughout Kerr County promptly responded to the recent emergency as the situation unfolded. When or if necessary, if improvements need to be made, improvements will be made.
Along the banks of the Guadalupe River, RV Resort Park managers Marianne Moran and Hannah Thresher told CBS News that they didn't receive any official emergency evacuation warnings they would expect to get on their phones.
I think there should have been alarms.
For those searching for flood victims, there's a physical and an emotional toll. Louis Deppy first set out to find his best friend's daughter, Joyce Catherine Baden, after her body was found. Deppy continued to search for two of her missing friends who were with her in a riverside cabin.
One of the shocking memories I'll always have is just how high some of the debris got.
Data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration shows how rapidly the waters rose in Kerrville, cresting at nearly 35 feet above normal levels. Kyle Ames's two young boys woke him up as water surged through his house in Ingram, Texas.
I just hear off the distance, there's water in the house, Daddy, there's water in the house.
Ames says when he got out of bed, the water was already up to his knees. Less than 10 minutes later, it was at his waist. His girlfriend Hannah and mother Cindy said they had to get to the roof. Only Kyle could lift them all up there.
It just happened so quick and it's just instinct.
Kerr County does not have a flood siren system. Governor Greg Abbott says in the coming days, state elected leaders will work on ideas of how to address what happened. Nidia Cavazos, CBS News, Kerrville, Texas.
Well, a church in Knoll, Missouri is stepping up after witnessing that devastation left behind that deadly storm. Elks River Baptist Church is now on a mission collecting everything from toiletries to baby food. And they're not just sending help, they're delivering it themselves straight to the Lone Star State. And with the tragic flooding in Texas, some may wonder if Missouri state parks and campgrounds are ready for flooding or other dangerous weather. Nick Kelly spoke with park officials and campers at Bennett Springs about preparedness, no matter what Mother Nature throws their way.
Our wet spring and active start to the summer hasn't stopped Doug McManus from coming down from Marshall with his wife to spend the month at Bennett Springs State Park.
We're campground hosts for the month of July. Which means we check and make sure campers are in the right spot and just take care of their needs.
Bennett Springs State Park is no stranger to flooding whenever the Niagara River runs high. Campers Glenda and Roger Smith from Scott City dealt with flooding on an early morning at this site years ago.
We were about the same spot and water was coming up, and luckily it was the day we were going to leave anyway. So, but we did have to leave and take the back way out.
That knock on their door came from park staff very early that morning. Missouri Department of Natural Resources says all their state parks have flood and severe weather plans in place. For Bennett Springs, staff will inform campers of any flood watches or warnings and ask visitors to secure any belongings. If the spring gauge reaches 4 feet and water reaches the road edge near the Holland Dam, they'll evacuate spring cabins 1 through 12. Campground 1 will evacuate when the Windyville gauge reaches 10 feet.
Not too long ago, in an effort to keep park goers and campers safe, the park put up 2 outdoor warning sirens, one here at Campground 1 and one at the Springhead.
Those sirens can be heard throughout the park. The department and park staff also encourages campers to come prepared with a weather radio, sign up for weather alerts, and don't ignore warnings from the staff. They also want campers to do what Doug and the Smiths do every day.
We check the forecast. I have the weather app on my phone, and look at it and for this area, and we just try to be aware.
Now, should you awake to or find yourself in a flash flood situation, park officials advise you not to leave the campground, to stay put. No national safety organization will tell you to try to drive through flash flooding or cross swollen creeks. Well, coming up, a local art center wants to honor service through creativity. And later, we're making a dining car steak in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. County fairs across the 4 states are in full swing. At the Vernon County Youth Fairgrounds this morning, 4-H exhibitors checked in and weighed livestock as they prepared for the shows. Exhibitors were registering dairy goats and rabbits and weighing in dairy steers. Now, for one 4-H member, county fairs are not just a chance to show off hard work, but it's a way to build community and strong connections.
I started 4-H about 4 years ago. This is my 4th year now. I knew nothing about it. I got thrown into it by a friend, and they were just like, hey, try this. I know you're new in town. It's really fun. And ever since then, I just, completely, it's a shock. I'm vice president of my club now. I'm working to a new level.
The final day of this year's fair will be this Saturday. And Spiva Center for the Arts is putting the call out for veteran works of art. This installation, titled Unbreakable, The Veteran Spirit, will feature works of art submitted by military veterans. The goal is to show the brotherhood and connection that's formed when someone joins the military.
Which it breaks down a lot of barriers. You know, when you are side by side with somebody and you're trusting them with your life, some of the stuff that we worry about in our society just kind of falls away, and it helps us to focus on what really matters, the humanity that unites us, instead of like some of the things that divide us.
You can head over to KOAMNewsNow.com for more information, including submission guidelines. Unbreakable, The Veteran Spirit, runs from September 4th through the 27th. And still to come, Mr. Food.
All aboard! Grab your train ticket because we're serving up a melt-in-your-mouth steak that's dining car fancy.
Outside of our pop-up storm chances today, we do have opportunities for more thunderstorms heading into the weekend, the latest when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So we, of course, had a couple of thunderstorms yesterday, those pop-up storms, and we had one severe thunderstorm warning. So as we've talked about, sometimes these pop-up storms can reach that strong to low-grade severe status, and that is a possibility again for us today. Let's start, though, with that look outside from this morning. Downtown Pittsburgh, again, looking great. Mostly clear skies over Pittsburgh this morning, partly cloudy skies for just about all of us as we deal with the storm chances. Do have that isolated risk for a strong storm, maybe some hail and some gusty winds. And again, this time the risk is primarily into southeast Kansas. So on to the future track we go, rolling through the rest of the afternoon. Again, remember with pop-up storms, future track's not going to give you an exact location by any means, but this is just indicating it's a possibility. By 5, the last of these should wrap up and we'll start to clear out. We'll have clear skies overnight tonight into Thursday morning. Now Thursday, we have a chance of a pop-up storm or two, but in all honesty, the chance is dwindling. Now, it's not to say things can't change. You know, it's the 4 states and it can change in a minute, but at this point, chances for any kind of real rain activity period tomorrow are very low. Our next best chance for rain is going to start coming by Friday afternoon. Friday morning, we start with partly cloudy skies. By noon, we start to see opportunities initially in our eastern counties, maybe for some pop-up storms, and it will be pop-up storms at first before we start to see slightly more organized shower and thunderstorm activity, this time now building into southeast Kansas. And these scattered storms will be over a more widespread area. That's why they're not the isolated pop-up storms. Some of them also could be strong to low-grade severe, but the greatest risk for any stronger storms is going to come overnight as we get kind of a more organized complex through early Saturday morning, pushing through the area. And we'll continue with scattered thunderstorm chances really as we head into the upcoming weekend. So again, for today, we have that level 1 out of 5 risk, again, mainly into southeast Kansas. Tomorrow, remember the light green, it's not on this scale down here because it's not a severe thunderstorm risk area. It's a general thunderstorm risk area. We've got that. Our southwestern counties, no areas highlighted, period. And that 1 out of 5 risk just barely clipping us in the northwest. So that's why, again, tomorrow the chances are really low, especially compared to today and Friday. Friday, especially in the evening, we go back to a level 1 out of 5 risk, mainly in the southeast Kansas for some of those strong to low-grade severe storms. And like today, the greatest concern is going to be with maybe some large hail and damaging wind gusts with any of those storm chances. So it's something, of course, we'll keep an eye on for you. Outside of pop-up storm chances today, partly cloudy skies, highs about 90, heat index values up to about 95, and winds outside, again, of any thunderstorm chances expected to be calm. As we head into the evening and overnight, as mentioned too, our skies will clear out. After midnight, we get a south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Mild temperatures, though, into the low 70s. And as we head into Thursday, again, that chance for a pop-up storm is there. It's not zero, but it's not very high. Otherwise, temperatures much warmer, low to mid 90s, muggy, south winds 5 to 10. Heading down the road, low to mid 90s again Friday. That thanks to the storm chances this weekend and the cloud cover, temperatures dropping back below normal for Saturday and Sunday. And the temperatures next week still a mix of below normal to slightly above normal with some additional pop-up storm chances next Wednesday and Thursday. Elise?
We're back with Mr. Food right after this. Well, today's Mr. Food recipe is a mouth-watering dinner that your family is sure to love. Howard's making dining car steak in the Mr. Food test kitchen.
If you've ever had the opportunity to have dinner in the dining car of a train, then you'll probably have some pretty fond memories of it. Now, I'm not talking about grabbing a hot dog and a bag of chips at the concession stand, but rather sitting down to a complete meal in the dining car. The recipe we're making today is inspired by just that. Plus, it's perfect for this time of year when you want to serve something special. The first thing we're going to do is mix some softened butter with some minced garlic, a squeeze of lemon juice, and chopped parsley. Then we spoon that down the center of a piece of wax paper and roll it up, creating a log. While the butter chills in the fridge, we'll cook up a couple of stripper ribeye steaks that we've seasoned. When the chilled seasoned butter hits the hot steak and begins to melt, get ready to take a bite of the most flavorful steak you've ever tasted. To get the recipe for our melt-in-your-mouth steak, all you have to do is visit our website and look for what we call dining car steak. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found the dining car fancy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's take a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, again, some pop-up storms between now and 5. Otherwise, partly cloudy, hot, low 90 or about 90. Low to mid-90s tomorrow and Friday. Maybe a storm tomorrow. Otherwise, more pop-up storms Friday afternoon and some scattered storms late evening and overnight. Some of those could be strong, low-grade severe as well. Additional storm chances rolling into the weekend with temperatures a bit below normal.
All righty, and Dowdy, your first later on today.
Well, lots coming up at 5. For starters, summertime means fun in the sun, so it also means taking care of your skin. We're going to hear from a dermatologist who says taking the right kind of shower could be key to healthy skin. Plus, small business owners are learning how current laws and politics could affect their bottom line at a lunch and learn in McDonald County. And a new mural is bringing color to Joplin thanks to a partnership between Aloe Fiber and the city's Arts District. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, Dad, thanks. Have a great rest of your day.